Hi guys, my name's Marcel. It says so right here in every video of mine. It's not Marshall, it's not Manuel, it's not Asia, and no, it's definitely not IKEA. As you know, I've made a couple of videos about drawing bodies, but some of you were like, well, the video is about female bodies, goddammit. And yeah, you're right, I've never made a step-by-step video like I did with the male version, so yeah, here we go. Just before we start, obviously, like with every human out there, there are also many different women with different shapes and different sizes and different body types. And none of them want to date me. I don't want to clickbait you guys. That's why we're drawing the exact same model that's on the thumbnail of this video. So yeah, I'm not fat-phobic, and I also don't dislike muscular women. Far from it. As always, my videos are not being made by a team or something. They are 100% made by me, and they are a ton of work. And you can support this work just by clicking a small little PNG of a thumb. Thank you very much. You would make my day. For real. Also subscribe, please. Alright, let's grab something to draw and learn how to draw women like a sir, or like a lady, or anything in between. I don't care. Okay, this is how we're gonna do it. We'll start off basic, as always, because just as promised, we will go through this step by step. Drawing a body out of the most basic shapes, and then shaping it more and more in detail. So, how do we start? If you remember, with men, you just needed your basic dynamic line that you could use as a guide for the body. But with women, you are better off using two of those dynamic lines. One line goes inward, right to the hip, while the other one has to balance it out. If you take a look at the silhouette of some basic female proportions, you will see that this is quite common. I don't have to tell you which body is supposed to be male and which one's supposed to be female, because the gesture of a body can tell you a lot about it. Now, while we're at the topic of silhouettes, you can spot that these female silhouettes are also proportioned differently than your average male ones. Alright, and with these criteria in mind, let's build ourselves a very basic female body. But before you start off, don't forget the dynamic line I was just talking about a second ago. Now, this is your average stickman, just like most beginners would draw it. The movement or weight is spread just like you saw before. That's what these dynamic guidelines are for. I think arms and legs are kind of self-explanatory. Orbs are for the joints, like shoulders and elbows, and the big orb is obviously supposed to be your head, the oval shapes, the rib cage, and so on. Now, the pelvis is the most important thing here. If you saw my video about males, you would know that the male pelvis was tiny in comparison. With women though, you have a much broader pelvis, which is why this is the point where the dynamic line changes. But yeah, these were the basics. So, we good? Then let's get more detailed here. Let's start systematically with the arms. Like I stated at the beginning, we're drawing a very slim person today, so watch out to also use slim shapes here as well. This way, the finished arm looks a lot more feminine and delicate, if that's what you're going for. Also, watch out that the orbs are overlapping with your ribcage if you want to keep your character a bit slimmer. If they were on the outside, the shoulders would look very broad and more muscular again. Now, even though I said we were going for a very slim person here, the arms are not just plain sticks. With your arms, your elbow should be the biggest part here. This seldomly changes no matter which body type you're drawing. So yeah, the lower part of the arm should also have a kind of diamond shape here. Now, obviously, I won't have the time to explain hands in details here, but something that you can keep in mind is that in order to make hands look more feminine, you could also just draw them more soft and round, and a tad more elongated. Just FYI, women also have the same chest muscles as men do, so if you want to draw them, you totally can. In general, there are a lot of muscles you could draw here, but like I said, we're going for a very delicate body here, so I'll just give you the rundown of what's actually visible here. First of all, with slimmer bodies, you can barely see the trapezius muscle right here. So I would only draw it in a very deflated way, just so the neck doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And also, something you could draw would be the collarbone. The less muscles and body fat you have, the more visible it is. So yeah, how visible this one actually is completely up to you. Now, the last thing that's missing are two circles, because of... Come on, you know why. Just look out for the position. Especially people that don't have these on their body tend to draw them way too high. I'd say if they are starting right below your shoulders, you're doing it correctly. Though obviously how low they are hanging depends on their size and weight. Though they all basically contain the same thing. That's right. Hopes and dreams. Also, there's a reason why I showed you the muscles from before. That's because these muscles show you where these balls are actually visibly attached to. This is especially useful when you draw women in different perspectives. Anatomy is just that helpful. I mean, there are some more things that I could say about this topic, but the last time I talked about this topic, my video got age restricted. So if you want to learn more about the, well, you know, the women parts, just watch these videos instead. Now, let's continue with an area that's less problematic and won't get this video demonetized or age restricted. Oh, for fuck's sake. I did say this in my video about men already, but I can also admit it here, drawing the stomach was always a problem for me. I just never got it to look right, you know? But it's actually simpler than you might think at first. After all, you only really need to connect the pelvis to the ribcage here, and that's about it. Obviously, in real life, your hip and your ribcage aren't physically connected, though otherwise you would look like this. Also, maybe you are used to drawing the infamous V-cut lines with male bodies. These are just the abdominal muscles, so really ripped women could have them too, though you're better off just drawing these lines right here. These are not muscles, these lines are just the point where the legs meet the pelvis, so it should be pretty obvious to tell where they are. You could also add some details here, like, for example, a belly button, and since we're drawing a very slender person, you could also slightly draw in some parts of the ribcage. Or, alternatively, you can get rid of all of these details because your character is wearing their pants like this. What's it with pants and all of these SpongeBob memes, man? Okay, basically the only really important thing that I could talk about here is the angle. Since female pelvises work a bit different, their legs are also angled differently. Now, that's kind of the only difference here. The rest of the legs would be the very same thing as I explained in my video about men. But I would obviously never just recycle that part. Right?
Make original content L+ ratio.
Shut up! My payroll at the school's too low for me to care.
Oktoberfest.
Now, when looking at your legs, your first instinct might be to say, ha, I know how that works. That's just like drawing arms, right? Yes. Arms and legs are very similar, yet very different. The base is kinda the same. That's true. But the proportions are not. Unlike your bicep, your thigh muscles are the strongest and biggest muscles in your whole body, much bigger than your bicep. Some people out there even have thighs so strong and big they can crush watermelons with it. And if you are one of those people, please call me. That's why, while drawing, you actually start way bigger here than you do with an arm, similar to a teardrop shape. Now, but what about the rest of the leg? Like I said, it's similar, but not the same as with drawing an arm. As you can see, the lower arm starts out big, while the leg has the big part right in the middle. That's what I always got wrong when I was drawing legs back in the day, but you are now a lot wiser than I was. So, when drawing the lower part of the leg, you should rather use this diamond shape. And now, I mean, look at it. I think that looks pretty true to an actual leg, even though those are only two very simple shapes. And again, with the feet, I won't go into much detail about drawing a foot here. I personally think you're good if you're drawing feet like this for starters. That's how I'm doing it as well. The most important thing is that even while drawing such a simple shape like this, you can still kinda check the balance of your character and if it looks actually viable. Also, if you do have feet yourself, please call me. Okay. That was just that one was just a joke. But the one with the thighs wasn't. And that's it. That's the whole video about drawing a basic female body. And here's a cheat sheet that I've drawn just for you to screenshot for the low price of dropping a like. Though a comment as well as a subscription would be very appreciated as well. If you want to continue with drawing hair or drawing a face or many other things, well, I do have a whole playlist with all of these things. You just need to click it. It's on screen right now. Well then, my name's Marcel, and class is finally over.